So today I'm just going to be doing a simple how I edit my Instagram pictures video, because I did get a couple DMs of people asking me what apps I use and stuff like that. So instead of like personally typing up paragraphs of like why not create a video, and you guys seem pretty interested in it as well. So this is like my fourth time recording it, so I apologize in advance if I trip up on some words or something like that, or like what I'm doing right now, like fumbling a little bit. But I do appreciate you stopping by my video, and I hope it was very helpful. So see ya! Hey guys, how are you doing? So I am finally getting around to show you how I edit my Instagram photos. Shameless plug for a moment here. If you are watching this video and are currently not following me on Instagram, do follow me at _unorthodox love. You can see my @ name in the top. Yeah, so the photos that I'm going to recreate is this one and this one, because I did get DMs asking what apps did I use. So the app that I mainly use is VSCO, VSCO, VSCO Cam, and the secondary app is going to be this app called InShot. So we start off in VSCO Cam, and I have the photos already preloaded. So we're going to start editing. This is a free app, and it has a bunch of free filters. The filters in the white are paid for. You have to have a subscription plan for them. And yeah, the three filters that I love the most are A4, HB1, and M5. But for this specific photo, I used A4. If you tap on the filter again, it brings up a spectrum of from 0 to 12, so you can change the intensity of the filter. But when I'm going for a more moody photo, I kind of keep the filter all the way at a 12. So I'm going to save that there. And then the second button at the bottom brings up further options to further personalize your pictures. And all of them are free except for the last two, which is borders, which just does that, and then HSL, which I don't know how to use. I'm guessing it's like if you're good with Photoshop, that'll be helpful. So with this photo, I simply sharpened it by a 0.5. I just know the numbers that I use for it because I had this app for such a long time, so I just know what I do and what works for me. My white balance, I bring it down by -0.5 just to help my whites to be more crisp, but I don't want it to look fake. My highlights, I bring it down just a bit by I think a 6 is good. And what highlights does is like it mutes the photo, it makes it almost flat. This is with all the highlights there, and this is with all the highlights removed. I hope you guys can like see the difference. Yeah, it kind of just flattens the photo and makes it more 2D, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna put that at a 6. And then I'm going to go into grain, which has been an effect I have been loving to add on my photos. And it just adds like this noise and grain effect to your photo. But yeah, I'm going to keep that at I think a 4 looks good. And if you hold down the photo, it shows you before and after, before and after. Yeah, I think 4 is good. And then fade, it just adds like a gray overcast. So I normally keep that at like a 0.1. And then I'm going to save this photo to my camera roll. And now import this photo to the secondary app called InShot. So I'm just going to load it. Where is it? Here. And now I'm going to go into the second button called filters. And they have lots of cool filters. These ones in colors you have to pay for. But yeah, we're going to effects. These effects in yellow I actually did buy. The ones in black are default, they're free, and all of these other effects, you know, like glitter and fire and stuff like that, you pay for them. But I'm just going to go to the ones that I paid for and the ones that I love. And the one I've been really using recently is called noise, which adds like these these like scotch lines on your photo. And if you tap the effect again, it's going to bring up a value bar, which is basically like the spectrum from 0 to 12 in the VSCO app, but it changes where you want your noise to go. You know, like you just play around until you just like what you see. I think I like that. Before and after. So now I'm just going to save that. And that's our first Instagram photo. Now we're going to go in and edit our second photo. So we're going to load back up VSCO cam, and we're going to touch the second photo, and we're going to go into the edits. With this one, I did A4 again. I do really gravitate to mainly those three filters that I talked to you about, A4, HB1, and M5. So I'm going to bring up the exposure. No, I'm not going to do that. Oh, I'm going to sharpen my image by 0.5. And the reason why I sharpen it, though it doesn't look much of a difference, is because I travel through apps. And I feel once you're editing through multiple apps, you have to, or I would recommend that you add some clarity or sharpen your images, because when you travel through apps, I feel like the quality of your picture drops by the time you make it to Instagram. Because I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I post photos, I feel like the quality is never the same as the original photo. Does that make sense? So I normally try to sharpen my images in VSCO Cam, the very first app, so when I travel through other apps, when the quality does drop because you're adding filters and doing all of these other different stuff to it, it's not like noticeable. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in with the white balance, gonna drop that by 0.5. Grain, loving grain right now, and I'm just going to bring that up to like a 4.2. Yeah, no, I'll drop that a little bit more, 3.7. I dropped that because I know I'm going to layer on like 2 other effects, so I don't want too much noise happening. I'm just going to bring up the fade to a 0.1. So this is before and after. Now I'm just going to save that to my camera roll. And now we're going to open up the app again, InShot. I love this app. This app is absolutely amazing. I use this app also to edit my Instagram stories. Plug. So we're going to go into filters, we're going to go into effects, and we're going to click the noise effect. Oh, I love this one. Right here, and I'm going to click the check mark. Now the only thing I don't like about this app is that you can't layer filters, so I had to save that, reload that now saved photo, go back to filters, go back to effects, and the effect that I layered on is RGB, which adds like this cool colored outline, and you have 3 color options to choose from. This first one is red, but I'm going to click the yellow and purple because you can see my face much better than compared to the red one. It's not so heavy on the eyes. Yeah, and then I'm just going to save that, and that is how I edited this photo. So the very last photo is the closest thing to a body shot. I wanted to do like a how I edit my body images, my body photos, but the most recent one was this, and I mean the lighting was really perfect, so I didn't really do anything fancy or artistic. It was just straight up natural, just evening out my skin tone type of thing, and I don't think that no one wanted to see how to do just a basic natural edit. So I took this old photo here that my friend Quincy took for me. I loved it. The colors are everything was so vibrant. So yeah, I just played around until I found a filter that looked nice. HB1 was nice, but then not nice enough. And M5 was just warmed up everything way too much. So for this photo, I actually used A4, and I dragged the filter strength down to a 6 because I genuinely did love this photo in its natural state, so I didn't want too much going on. So it just muted some of the reds, and the browns just looked, I just loved what it did to the colors in this photo. And then for the exposure, I actually brought it up to a 0.5 because I don't know if you can see, I love how the light hit my shoulders and my décolleté area, and bringing up the exposure like really made a difference in that shining. Sharpen my photo once again to a 0.5. And that was it. That was literally all I did to edit this photo. Not every photo needs like a bunch of editing. And then I would just save that to my camera roll. I'm actually going to just do a brief breakdown, summary of my photography. collection here on my phone. So the very first app is Afterlight, which is what I use to create borders or anything like this. Okay, for example, I'm taking this photo. Okay, as it loads. Okay, there we go. And the very last button all the way to the right hand corner, click that, and then the very first option, and then you can just put whatever type of shape you want, but I just want a regular square, so I clicked the first option. And there's also a spectrum here from 0 to 100, so you can zoom out the photo more or you can bring it in, you know, just to fit. You know, like when you have those photos that aren't a 1:1 and you don't want to actually crop it or anything like that, this is what I do, or I use, to allow me to show the full photo without affecting anything. Another cool feature that this app has is if you click the third button in, which is here, it has this cool filter overlay, so I can add dust, further grain on my photos to like make it more vintagey. So I think there's about 13 overlays. Yes, there are 13 overlays that you can choose from, so it further makes your photo like vintage or, you know, charactered, which is pretty cool. I haven't used it yet, but I know, I mean, I've taken some photos that I have my eye on using a couple of these overlays. Yeah, so I just thought it'd be really cool just to share it right now. So let me pretend like I'm gonna use one. Okay, let me do that. No. Okay, let me bring down the strength. Hmm. 50 looks about good. And with me adding filters, overlays, any type of effect you're going to do, less is more actually, because you don't want it to look so overly edited. And this is the before and this is the after. So I'm just going to quickly go back to VSCO Cam because there is a cool option that I have to share with everyone, especially if you're a blogger or a creative. This really helps me to keep my feed cohesive, or if you have a certain Instagram aesthetic, this would be very helpful. So let's say I want to take the first edit that I did and copy them on all of these photos. So I would tap on the photo. You can see the 3 dots on the bottom right corner. It's going to bring up a menu which says copy edits, and I'm going to tap that and then select the photos that I want to put the edits on. Click those 3 dots at the bottom again and click paste edits, and as you can see, it just changed those 3 photos into whatever edits I did at the very top. So now they look like this, and this is very helpful, like I said, to keep your edits relatively the same, especially for a person like me who works on their feed, and if I post 3 times a day, I want my edits to look, you know, relatively the same. I don't want one of the photos to look warm and then the next one look more cool. Like that would defeat the purpose of having a theme. And VSCO Cam does an amazing job doing that. I have yet to find another app that actually copies your edits. The next app I'm going to talk a little bit about is called Photowonder. It's this really cool little Asian app, so I'm just going to bring in this photo. It has some really good like one-click effects. So if I click different numbers like 1 through 5, the machine just like automatically assumes what they think would best fit the picture, which is cool sometimes. Yeah, the infinity, I guess, slims you down. I have another app for like slimming down my face. The smile app, let's see. Yeah, just small things like that. But I think mainly the effects is what I really use for this app, because VSCO Cam only has about 10 to 13 free filters, and some days none of them fit me, you know, because editing is all about personal preference. It's all about like a vibe. It's all about what you're trying to portray that day. So like this one would have been cool. It looked like if I took this photo in front of some windshields or something. Sunburst is also nice. This is bringing back like mid 2000 vibes, like when everyone used to add the little bokeh bokeh effect on their photos. Yeah, I think I'll just save this. So Photowonder is just a nice, cute app. I mean, next app is just Pic Collage, which, as you can assume, just throws your pictures in a collage, you know. The next app is Phonto, which adds why can't I speak right now? Which adds words on top of your photos. So let me do one really quick as an example. Let's do this one that I did. And it also has some filters and stuff, which is cool. But I just keep the already edited photo. And you just tap anywhere on your picture to add a text. So let's say I want to add the words. Let me see this photo. What word can I say? Let's say I want to add the word vibe. V-I-B-E. So I'm going to go in and add some spaces. Yep, I'm gonna put that at the bottom here. Okay, and if I tap on the word, then I can actually change like the style, so like the color. Wait, here you can see the color, it's changing. I'm just gonna keep that black. I'm gonna change the stroke to white, but I'm actually going to change the width of the stroke to like a 1. And you could change the font. This app has so many different fonts, and the cool thing about this is that you can actually import fonts from I forgot what the website name, but you can see they have this button right here that says how to install fonts. You can literally download fonts from online and add, but they do have a lot, which I don't think it's necessary to download anymore. So I'm gonna change that font to something that matches a little bit better. Yeah, this one looks nice, and you can just adjust it wherever you want. I think that looks good. Yeah, so I'm just gonna duplicate that, type that again. Okay. And just line it up where you think it would look nice. And boom. I just have a new photo, and I can just quickly save the image. The next app is going to be Facetune, or more specifically Facetune 2, because I think they have like 3 versions or something like that. Okay, and it's conveniently loaded. This app is perfect for selfies or close-up images because of this retouch section. So if my teeth were showing, I could have whitened my teeth a little bit, like how it has the smoothing option. I can go in, zoom in, smooth out any lines or anything that I feel is imperfect or stuff like that. You can go very crazy with this app, but you want your skin always to look like skin. So I personally go in with a light hand. Another cool thing that I love about this, I mean it's a must, is this mattifying option. So this one right there that says matte. So like if I want to take away some of the shine, I would zoom in and I would swipe, and I would just mattify my forehead, the bridge of my nose, any type of thing like that. So I think you could see the before and the after. So especially if you're sweating, oh my gosh, this just knocks it out. It just knocks it out the park, and it's amazing. They have some cool filters as well. I'm not crazy about them, but they're decent, you know? They're decent filters. And that's mainly what I use Facetune for. This paint option tool is really good because I can do my skin tone darker, which is something I do in all of my photos, but I don't use this specific app to do it. So here I am just literally painting over my skin with the dark shade. and then you can just adjust it on the slider so it can look more natural. Yeah, but like I said, I don't use this specific app to paint my skin darker. And that's really what Facetune does. Next app is called InLight, but as you can see, I don't even have it downloaded. That's how long I have not used it, so we're just going to skip that. And my next and final app is going to be Beauty Plus, which is another Asian app of mine. This app is absolutely amazing for editing your face. I use this app religiously. Okay, this photo. Back to this photo. I use this app religiously to slim down my jawline. So as you can see, there's a second option right next to smooth, which says slim. So I do it on auto, and before, look at my jaw, cheek area, you know, look at that area before and after. It just slims it down just a smidge, or you can like hype it all the way up, but I think that is be a little too drastic, so I just keep it like at a 50. So if you have a fluffy or full face like I do, I mean, just download that app just for this effect, because I think it just tones my face a lot better than if I didn't contour my face. You can also smoothen out your skin hair, but you don't have much control of where you're smoothing out, so it does like a really, really good job in doing that. This app is what I use to change my skin tone or darken my skin tone. So I normally go to the second to last brown, and there's a slider with a spectrum from 0 to 100, so you can change the intensity. And I normally keep it around a 40, but depending on the picture, like I'll drop it to 25. So before and after. I love to add some melanin to my pictures. I think in all of my photos, actually, if they're kind of clear and they aren't fancily edited, I always darken my skin tone a smidge. You can actually contour your face with this app. It just like brightens the under eye, so that's really cool if I feel like I didn't do a good job. Acne, you can really like dap away any zits. So like this one, is the brush big enough? Bang, there we go. So there was a zit, now there's not. So I can just go in and really be a perfectionist and like literally zap away any zit on my face. How can I miss this one? And just have a flawless face. But I normally try to keep some of my zits because I like to look human, and I feel like we put so much pressure in looking perfect for photos, so I normally try to keep my skin looking like skin, and if I have 1 or 2 zits that were relatively small like those ones, I'll keep them. The eye reshaping, I used to do this back in the day. I used to actually make my eyes a little bit larger because I feel like I have the smallest eyes in the world and they're hooded. So I normally used to enlarge my eye. I don't know if you can see the difference. So this is the before and then this is after. It's not like majorly different, but I used to do that so my eyes can actually be visible. Yeah, so I'll just save that. And that's mainly what I use this app for. They have some beautiful filters as well. They really do have beautiful filters. And personally, I would stick with Ivory. The first one normally is the best one in this app. The first 2, I should say. Yeah. And that is Beauty Plus. Well, if you made it here, then you've made it all the way to the end of the video. And I just want to say thank you because, lots of work. Recording and editing the videos. So if it was helpful, definitely leave a comment down below. If you have other apps that probably do the stuff that I do even better, comment them down below because it's all about sharing and caring. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time.